Yo, this Chance the Rapper. I'm about to make up the new Vocalo jingle on the spot. All right, bear with me. 91.1, it's an emergency. Vocalo Radio, turn it on with urgency. With 91.1, yeah.
It's 91.1 FM, Chicago's only NPR music station. SocialWorks is in the building. I'm talking Essence Smith. I'm talking Justin Cunningham. And the homie Chance the Rapper is in the building.
Thank you for having us, man. This is so cool. SocialWorks in the building.
The whole social, not part of everybody.
Yeah,
Hey.
except for Reese.
Yep. Reese. Shout out Reese.
Shout out Reese.
Shout out them.
I mean, man, it feel good to have you all here. A special thing is going down this Thursday. This is the 5th annual. To be exact, I can't even see you.
Here I am. Yeah. No, it's okay. The people listening can't see me either. So
that is true. It's the 5th annual Night at the Museum. It's going down this Thursday, everybody. So we're going to talk all about it. And before I jump into things, I just want to give Essence Smith some flowers. Because earlier this year, you clap it up, you know what I'm saying? You clap it up, you feel me?
Thanks, guys.
Beautiful black queen that's been swerking.
Yeah, I'll be swerking.
Now, earlier this year in February during Black History Month, you were nominated and selected as the Young Adult Philanthropist during the Comprehension exhibition. Can you tell us more about that experience, Essence?
Yeah, it was almost a year ago, but it was about a month-long activation exhibit that was at the Cultural Center downtown, and I was one out of about 20 philanthropists that were just highlighted in this really beautiful exhibit. We all had portraits that were black and white, and were able to kind of list our impact and our bios next to it, and got to even show a little bit of what we did from like a tangible sense. Like I was able to give I think I gave one of my medals from when I played tennis, talking about my story about impact there, and my photo was next to D Rose's. That was pretty cool. So
E Rose.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I'm still not really sure if I was able to kind of wrap my head around that honor. So thank you for bringing that back up.
I had to. You all of you all have been working. And I love putting the spotlight on our black queens because you all do so much behind the scenes. And it's good to see what you've been doing behind the scenes come to the forefront. That ain't it because you also got a chance to speak in Sydney, Australia for the Woman Who Innovate 2023.
Now works in Australia.
So what value would you share that motivates you that would also inspire and motivate women to continue to innovate for years and years
Bekoe,
and years to come?
Yeah,
Come on. I mean, you know when you come through, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, for sure. What value? Just remember to say, rooted and grounded, no matter the adversity that may come your way. Remember, I always talk about just having core values and a core mission for yourself. And for me, I'm super rooted in my faith. And that's always what brings me back to just my center and understanding, why I do the work that I do. So things may get hard, things may get tough. There may be some adversity in between, but just remember the end goal and, what you're trying to do for the people and for yourself. Stay true to yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
I see. Now, again, the 5th annual Night at the Museum takes place this Thursday at the Science and Industry Museum.
Yes.
And I'm going to stick with you, Essence, because can you tell us more about the inspiration behind this event and, how it benefits the homeless community?
Yeah. Well, the benefits, so we have 5 different initiatives at SocialWorks, as I'm sure you know, and we've shared before on the show. But this event directly goes under our Warmest Winter initiative, which is specifically for those experiencing homelessness. We provide direct support services for those experiencing homelessness. So although this event is for the community, and we just want people to come out, have a great holiday festive time before Christmas, we also encourage all attendees to bring donations that we then, later in February, later in the year, we then sort with a bunch of volunteers and give back to those experiencing homelessness. And we have a lot of cool things coming up when it comes to how we're going to disseminate and distribute, our donations this year. We're working with DFSS and having a warming closet that people are going to be able to come in and just get things for free, actually. So it's really exciting, and more to come there.
So anyone can answer this. What all can people donate as of Thursday?
People can donate so much on Thursday. We're talking about coats, scarves, hats, gloves, pants, socks,
Anything that
shoes.
makes you feel warm.
Toys. Bring toys.
Hygiene items.
Hygiene
yeah.
items.
No food, though.
Warming items. I'm sorry, you answer the question.
We like to say whatever makes you feel warm, but yeah, don't bring food though, please. Okay. I just want to put that out there.
Like no
canned food.
See, that's why I asked.
No, yeah, I appreciate it.
People got a lot of canned goods they be trying to get away.
Yeah, we don't. We say no canned goods.
Yeah,
but
stop giving away old canned goods.
Yeah.
Also, like that's not P.
Yeah.
Trying to help people don't give away old canned goods.
Yeah.
People need hygiene items. They need warming items, blankets, coats. You know what I'm saying? Like, put together a care package. Put together something that you would give to like a family member that's experiencing a hard time.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. And that's the coolest thing about Warmest Winter is, about the night at the museum is that it's this awesome night of engagement, of like activities, education, because it's obviously at the Museum of Science and Industry. So you're getting all types of, good times with your kids and with your family members where you guys can have fun, and there's hot cocoa and there's all these, different activities and
ice cream.
Performances, ice cream. And it's like really like fun, but it's really like a Trojan horse. It's like a disguised moment for us to build up our inventory of needed donated items. The reason why we do Warmest Winter is because everybody loves to give stuff during the holidays, but in Chicago it gets much colder after Christmas. And so we have to stock up on the things that we're trying to give out to the community now, so that in February and late January, where it's, like negative 45 or whatever crazy stuff we're gonna experience here.
Don't jinx us.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you know how it gets. Like it gets crazy. So
Look at the stats.
We want everybody to know, like, to come and bring your kids and have a good time, but also bring something out the house that somebody else can go home with, or that we can, give out in the later months of the winter.
No, that's right, man. Look at here. SocialWorks is in the building. And now Justin, right? Man, you be out in these streets, partner.
Whoa, what does that mean?
I had that serving and volunteer.
In a great way, my brother.
In
In the best way ever. Okay, I'm talking about when I say out in these streets, I mean, I'm gonna rephrase it. You be out in these communities.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's true.
From I see you around a lot of music. I see you at the open mics. I heard, you bike. You might see them out there biking in the summer, but you be out here making these moves, man. And I gotta ask you, when it comes to SocialWorks, how empowering the youth through the arts, like education and civic engagement. Justin, can you share with everyone some specific examples of the impact some of SocialWorks initiatives have had in Chicago?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I want to focus on Warmest Winter right now, then we'll move on to like open mic and things like that. But for this initiative that we're talking about, A Night at the Museum, I mean, we've affected 86 unique shelters like all throughout the Chicagoland region. So we're not talking about double dipping and things like that. We're talking about various shelters, different shelters all throughout, the Chicagoland area. We've also amassed and given out about 165,000 articles of warming items. You know what I'm saying? So like we gather it up and we send it out, We've also provided like about 12 different unique experiences when we talk about, that population, because community is way more than just being like, hey, I'm just in Chicago, so I'm a part of the community. Half of being a part of a community is actually feeling like you belong. And that has experiences and getting out with your neighbors and things like that. So, it's really cool to be able to donate these clothings and provide these opportunities for our Chicagoans. But when we talk about those experiencing homelessness, it's really cool when we're able to bring them to a Bulls game or the Universal Soul Circus, or do things with like D-Case and bring them out to Grant Park, because that's when you get a sense of like what Chicago is and what Chicago can be for you. So that's really awesome. awesome. We also got a Kids of the Kingdom program. I love the Kids of the Kingdom program. We've been doing that for, SocialWorks has been supporting the Kids of the Kingdom program for about 5 years now, 5 going on 6 years, regularly supporting at least 66 5 to 13-year-olds every year. Yeah. You know, supporting and bringing in like 20 different small and medium-sized minority-owned businesses teaching performing arts, you know, literacy. You know, we had Alex Carter. We had Alex Carter come in last night. I mean, Chelsea Carter. I mean, I don't know, but she taught fashion design for sure, and it was incredible. Our kids finished off the 7-week program with a beautiful jean quilt that was made from upcycled jeans. So, I mean, we're doing amazing things here in SocialWorks.
Speak on it.
Ahead of our time for sure. All like orchestrated by 3 young black people.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all.
Black.
Like,
I'm the third.
Like, you don't even know.
That's not easy.
But and we can go on. I mean, 72 different open mics throughout our 7-year history. And I mean, it goes on. $5.1 million to the Chicago public school system, supporting over total like 40,000 students. I mean, I found out today that your son goes to one of the elementary schools that we donated to. New Sullivan got their band program back going up. You know, it's amazing. You can find those New Chance videos on YouTube. So I mean, like, it's just really cool and such a privilege to be working with my best friends. You know what I'm saying? But also to be able to go to these neighborhoods that I live in and enjoy and be able to like reinvest and provide the next generation with opportunities that I had, but also opportunities that I wish I had, you know? So it's amazing.
And I want to get back to the experiences that's going to take place at A Night at the Museum, Justin, because I know you can do this. Can you describe the interactive vendors that you all have coming, the performances that's going to be there, and, you know, the museum exhibits that the attendees can expect at A Night at the Museum?
Yeah. I can definitely say that. I can't get through all 51. Yeah, I can't get through all 51 right now, but I can tell you a couple, you know, and I'm not just saying this because it's one of the greatest rappers ever, but I'm really excited for the Chance the Rapper store.
Oh, Chance the Rapper!
I'm really excited for the Chance the Rapper store. I mean, we got some vintage items that'll be given away and a whole bunch of things, vinyls and stuff like that, so definitely check that out. I'm really excited for Snap 360 photo booth. I mean, I've been seeing what they're about to bring. And who doesn't love 360 photos? You know, I get my little dance and I do my little 2-step. That's really cool. I'm really excited for the Peggy Notebart Museum, excuse me for that butcher, but it's a museum right now on the north side of Chicago, so really cool that we can just collab and bring the museums together, and never been done before. And also I'm excited for Black Girls Code. Me and my bears, we're stuffing bears. Everybody's gonna leave with a bear. We got the Red Clay School of Dance. You know, we're about to be bringing in some diasporic movements into that place, you know. But I'm really excited for real. The 3 open micers that are gonna get a chance to perform in front of like maybe their largest crowd ever.
Yeah.
We have 3 amazing female artists. Sauce 20K, an amazing singer. We have Ray is Ray, phenomenal poet, and we also have Zia Janai, which is who is a superstar if I've ever seen one. You know, we talk about background dancers, the whole 9. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to come to one of our open mics, she's a regular there. So I'm really excited for that. And of course, we're bringing our open mic hosts too, to bring the energy, make it live. I'm talking about Hot Rod and Naira, of course.
That's something I believe that's taking place at A Night at the Museum. It may be new, it may not be new, but Chance Fund, if I'm not mistaken. The Chance Fund is, if I'm not mistaken, it's an arts and literature fund that's pretty much created, you know, by SocialWorks. Can you explain how that fund supports artistic and literary endeavors for the youth?
Yeah. So the New Chance Fund, even though it's called the New Chance Fund, it's not that new. It was an initiative that we started in 2017, I believe. Basically, just to try and tell the whole story in short, right after I won 3 Grammys.
1, 2, 3.
Justin made sure to say 3 Grammys, and brought the trophies back to the crib. The governor of Illinois reached out to congratulate me and on Twitter, And I used that tweet as an opportunity to try and create a conversation around the inequities in school funding formulas in Illinois. So if you don't know, like basically you get more or less funding, basically based off of property value. It's like an old racist, messed up like Chicago funding formula for schools. So the schools in the nicer neighborhoods get more funding from the state, and the schools in neighborhoods that are more impoverished don't. And that causes us to have less teachers, less art teachers specifically, but schools are unkempt. Like it's all types of issues with it. So I brought it up to folks. He was like, yeah, sure, we can talk about it in a meeting. And so I took a meeting with folks. He was not, we didn't see eye to eye. And so after that, we started an initiative to try and in the stopgap budget. So basically, because CPS as a whole didn't have enough money to finish the school year, there was going to be a strike. There was going to be a whole lot of kids not going to school. Like I said, this was back in 2017. And basically, we did like an all call and got a whole bunch of different awesome organizations and businesses involved in creating a fund that would specifically locate the disparities. Rather than trying to donate to the overall fund, we could target schools that needed the money, that needed an arts teacher, that needed a band program, that needed a science lab. And we basically transformed like over 60 schools. How many?
51.
Oh, 51 schools. Sorry.
60
Gotta say
coming.
the right.
60
Almost
coming.
60. We're going to get to 60. Trust
yeah,
me,
we
we're
are.
getting to 60. But 51 schools in Chicago, public schools have been transformed where they have new arts labs, new science labs, new teachers, new everything's bell to bell though. It's not like after school program. This is like changing the actual school day of a lot of students. And shout out to Steinmetz, shout out to all the schools. There's so many schools that have been affected. And I really only know this because when I walk around Chicago, people be like, hey, you donated to my kid's school. I'm a teacher, you donated to my school. And so the work has been getting done, and I want to make sure that I highlight Justin and Essence. Like, it's really a very few of us that run SocialWorks, but they keep their eye on the ball and make sure that this money is making a positive impact directly in students' lives. And so it is called the New Chance Fund, but it's a game we've been in for
A long time.
for a while, for 5 years now. And so we get to see schools because it's a 3-year initiative where the school gets $100,000, right, over the course of 3 years.
Yep.
And we get to actually see what happens. So now that it's 5 years out, we've had 2 different cohorts of schools where we got to see what they started at and where they ended at. And some of these schools, they get a higher level rating after they're done with the program. They have better graduation rate. They have all types of real transformative work. And I ain't trying to just toot my own horn. I'm saying, like, these are facts. This is real stuff that's happening.
Less violence.
It's needed. That's needed. And I apply y'all on all
Thank
the
you,
hard
man.
work because y'all transformed my son's school.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So,
Real life.
what school is your son to?
New Sullivan.
New
Sullivan.
Sullivan is one of our schools. I remember saying that.
Yeah, so definitely shout out to you all for putting that groundwork in and making things change. Also, speaking of numbers, SocialWorks is celebrating 7 years. This is the 5th annual Night at the Museum.
5th.
And this year was Acid Rap's 10th
It was Acid Rap's
anniversary.
Yeah.
You sold
What
out.
anniversary.
You sold out the United Center. I got
we
a
did sell out
chance.
the United Center.
I was there. I was there. I had a ball, my brother. Man, so happy for what's been going on. I picked up me a vinyl as well.
Thank you, man.
Now, when reflecting on the past history of all things you've done, my brother, personally to you, what stands out the most, especially around this time of the year?
Ooh, of all the things I've done, what stands out? Man, for just the first thing that came to mind, this isn't the most important thing, but just thinking out loud, I'm really proud, and I could thank these 2 people here too for their help, of what we did in Ghana this year. We threw a whole concert in Africa, like in West Africa, in a country that we had just started going to last year. Essence, that was your first time going. You was putting together events, working with the government, all types of stuff. Like, that was like, I really, what I applaud is, one, our friendship.
Hey.
We've been friends for so long. And have stayed tight and have stayed doing impactful work. Even we was like 18 and 19. We started SocialWorks before it was official.
Yeah.
We were doing
open mics.
We were doing open mic, and we were kids. Like, we were only a few years older than the kids that were coming up to us, signing up. And doing but we stayed on it. And the same thing that happened with Ghana is the same thing that happened with the Magnificent Coloring Day.
Yeah.
Same thing that's happened with A Night at the Museum. And I love the fact that we it's like no idea is too big or too small to fit into one day. Also, like we'll throw an event. And it's impossible to describe. Like a night at the museum is impossible to describe. I can't even tell anybody what it is. Because it's so many things going on. It's community aid. It is entertainment. It is community building. It is revolutionary work. It
education.
It's education because it's at a museum. So you go there with your kid, you get some heralds, then you go to the Blue Paradox and learn about environmental racism. Then you go sit on Black Santa's lap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's low-key radical
And then you
work.
get some free toys.
And then you get some free toys. And then you can donate some clothes, too. That's going to affect some people in a couple of months. And I feel like those kind of things and those kind of events is like, you know, it's immeasurable and invaluable. And I couldn't do it without my best friends over here. I got to turn the camera on. I got to turn the camera.
I want to shout you out as well because, man, Black Star Line was my first time going to Ghana. Wow. And I have Ghanaian roots.
Yeah, Bekoe was there.
And
you got
I was
Ghanaian
there.
roots?
Yes, my father was from there. And due to you all, I was able to go. And shout out WBEZ for getting me down there. Got a chance to experience the 50,000 people to come out. Got a chance to chop it up. Got a chance to pretty much cover things and put it up. So it was an experience that I would never forget. And I appreciate the whole team for getting me down there to support and you know, just experience my roots, my brother. So definitely want to shout you out on that. And I always want to ask you this after the festival took place. How was it performing when the sun was coming up, Chance? How was that for you? Because I missed out, man. I missed out. So how was that for you?
No, it was beautiful, man. It was really a deep, life-changing moment, man. So I've produced, I think, 5 festivals now, all local except for Ghana. I think. Did I produce a festival somewhere else? No, I think Ghana was the first time I produced a festival outside of Chicago and outside the country, off the continent, and it was a lot of work. It was a long process and a lot of people that helped make it possible. And I think the day of, I couldn't have ever expected it to be so consuming. Like it was like there was all these small fires that you got to put out and things at the gate and things with water and things with, and you know, like you're basically in charge of the safety of 52,000 people. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a, you know, the event was something that we wanted to be so special and so connecting and so communal that we couldn't have no issues. So I'm literally sprinting back and forth in 90-degree weather with a radio on my collar, like trying to like make sure everything goes good. And, you know, keeping people safe is one thing. Keeping things on time is a whole nother thing.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
African time is different.
Yeah, Ghana man time is a real thing. But also like it's double-edged. Like it's like we started the show, I think like 5 hours after we were supposed to start the show. But also like my first time coming to Ghana was a year prior. So if you think about it, like we did a lot in a short period of time. Yeah. And so if we were 5 hours late, I'm kind of cool with it because there were people that told me that I should have moved the festival to the next year, or like should have like planned it locally first and then tried to take it. And it's like, no, we could do this, and we did it. We did that. Like it was beautiful. But I think performing at the end of the night, at the beginning of the morning, basically, I went on stage I think at like 5 a.m. or something crazy, 6 a.m. Yeah. So like
sunrise set.
Yeah, but that's also Ghana. Like that's Ghana culture. That's why there were still people there. It's because like they go to the club at 7 a.m. Like that's their 5th club they went to that night.
You ain't lying.
But yeah, beautiful moment, life-changing moment. I could have never expected it, and there's nothing that I can really compare to that set.
Can we expect another Starline Festival, my brother?
Absolutely.
You know, will it come this 2024? Can we expect a Black Star Line Festival in Ghana again?
Yes to all of these things.
Okay.
So my goal is to create a safe space, a communal traveling show that people go to and can can commune in confidence. Where we can have panels and we can have, you know, things that aren't as serious, picnics and like skateboard exhibitions and live graffiti shows and everything, like and obviously a concert, some music, some dance parties, some whatever, but have it also be based in growing the Black community, the global Black community, and doing the history and research on ourselves and how integral we've been to every governance or nation that we've lived in. And I think like with the one that we did in January, it was so beautiful and so positive and so important to not just the people locally in Ghana, but to all the people that traveled in, that we want to do it again, but we want to do it somewhere new. And so we've been working on putting together one in Jamaica for next year.
Okay.
And Jamaica is, in a lot of ways, it's ground zero for the Pan-Africanist thought, because that's where Marcus Garvey comes from. And his ideas are what led Kwame Nkrumah to found Ghana and to receive from the colonialism that they were facing from Britain. So there's a lot of history in Jamaica. The UNIA is there, Freedom Hall is there, the Maroon people, which is one of the only Black armies to successfully fight off a conqueror in their homeland. Like there's so many different like important parts about Jamaica that's where my heart is really set on making sure the next one takes place. I don't think it's gonna happen in a couple of weeks and on January 6th. Just to let people know it's not. But
it's coming soon.
But it's coming soon, and I think. And the answer is yes, it will be in Ghana again one day for anybody that's watching from Ghana. We will come back to Ghana, and we're so thankful and grateful to all the people there that made that happen, and all the businesses there and organizations there that made the first Star Line happen. We gotta bring it around. And then when we come back to Ghana, Ghana will be so proud of us because they'll see all the work that basically they started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, I want to tap back into a night at the museum. And I'm going to get into some questions, brief questions for all of you to jump in. But Chance, you've been prepping an album, Starline Gallery.
Ooh.
Can we expect any Starline Gallery surprises during the night at the museum this Thursday? And when can people expect your latest body of work, man?
Man, I did not know I was gonna answer no questions about my music, but I will.
That's why I threw a night at the museum, man.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's all these projects are important. Starline is something that is just. It's something that's so beautiful and I'm so proud of in its current state, but it's just not where I want it to be yet. You know what I mean? And I just had some great sessions in Orlando. I just came back from Orlando doing sessions with Darkchild. I had some awesome sessions a couple months back with Wayne. I had a session a couple weeks ago with the amazing, legendary Nile Rodgers. And I've just been getting all these amazing important Black artists, producers, painters, like all these people that are in the pantheon of like Black iconography have been coming and helping me build this project. And what I've always had is bars. Like I have bars. That's just that's why people are on my live right now. It's because I got bars. But also like the bars is one way of disseminating information. It's also, there's people that are visual learners. That's why I'm working with so many great artists. There's so many people that just need to hear the right beat, the right rhythm, the right tempo. So I'm working with the greatest producers. And I'm just trying to like create this wide net and web of like bringing in people that influenced me or helped me understand music to help me get off my message, because I have a really, really important message that I could put some good metaphors around. I could spit y'all a fire a cappella verse, but I also need the help of those around me, the community around me. And that's the same thing with SocialWorks. Like that's why Night at the Museum is successful, because it's like 100 vendors. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hundreds of people and organizations coming together to make something dope.
It's that collaboration and intentionality, man. You know, like that's what it's all about. If you want to do something, do it well, do your research, you know, and make sure everything is set. You know, I think from what you said about like everything. I mean, I learned something today. like facts, but whenever SocialWorks, whenever Chance does something, it's going to be intentional. It's going to hit where it needs to hit, and it's going to be an invitation for all those around to come experience that too. So definitely with a night at the museum, this is your invitation. Come through. Thursday, December 21st is from 6:30 to 10:30 at the Museum of Science and Industry. You don't want to miss it.
And I got to tap in and ask Essence. I'm going to start off with Essence and work it around the room. What's your favorite activity that takes place at a night at the museum? There's so many.
There's so many. Of course, I got to shout out Dreezy Claus, Black Santa with dreadlocks. That's going to be at the SocialWorks station taking photos with families. We got Ben and Jerry's coming in again as well. But if I can take it back just a second, I know Chance has been giving us a lot of flowers on this live and, on this radio interview, but shout out to you, man, because I will say, like, one thing about a night at the museum to tie all this together and to the music, he uses his music and that side of, his business to also really pour back into SocialWorks and garner a lot of support through that lens that then trickles down to us. And one example is Hubble Studios. Hubble Studios is a location and a venue that we worked with out in LA for his Acid Rap After Party. For his 10-year, he did a tour. They then do a toy drive. They're giving us 500 toys through partnership, through, knowing him and his music and him having such a solid foundation and believing in the work that he does, that then is able to impact SocialWorks, the kids that we serve. And specifically, you can come in to a night at the museum and grab free toys for your kids.
Sheesh.
So it's just a full circle, holistic approach over here and very intentional. And, we love to be able to give back the way that we do in such an intentional way.
Justin, what's your favorite activity that takes place at a night at the museum?
Wow. I mean, there's so many. Before I go into it, definitely want to shout out, some of our sponsors. We got Aetna, Better Health of Illinois. Thank you for making this possible. We have Astound Broadband. Thank you for making it possible, as well as Broken Shed. Thank you for making it possible. But I'm, from this interview, I'm old school Chicago. I can't wait for the Jesse White Tumblers to come into Entry Hall. I can't wait. You see them like doing the back flips, the front flips, the somersaults, the cartwheels under those like 30-foot ceilings. It's so ornate in the Museum of Science and Industry. So I can't wait. I'm going to be there for the Jesse White Tumblers.
I know that's right. Now, lastly, if you could sum up a night at the museum in one word, what would you say?
I got this one. Family.
Ooh.
Because I want to say Chicago, because Justin just reminded me that there is such a great representation of Chicago with the Jesse White Tumblers, with the Harold's Chicken, with all these different White Sox, all these different classic Chicago, but what it reminds me of, it reminds me of when I took Kinsley to the Bud this year. And Kinsley's been to the Bud Billiken before, but this year she was very conscious of it and was into seeing the South Shore drill team and and learning all these things. And that moment with her was probably my best moment of the year. Just being able to be with my family and experience community in such a large Black way. It's just it's a dope feeling. And I think the overall intention behind the whole event is to gather up food, toys, warming items, and an overall, sense of urgency to help those in our Chicago family that aren't experiencing the same Christmas that we do. Yeah. And so it widens the family. It creates an opportunity for all of us to be around and not feel unsafe. Being honest, we go to large-scale gatherings in Chicago and it don't really be feeling the same as a SocialWorks event. Yeah. When you go into a SocialWorks event, you feel the safety, you feel the love, you feel the purpose, the sense of I'm doing something that's important. And I love taking Kinsley, I love taking Marley, I love being with all these people that I grew up with strangers, and just singing together, dancing together, enjoying activities together, eating together, and that's what family is.
Mm-hmm. My one word, I had to come up with one.
Yeah, what's your word?
Essential.
Ooh. Essential.
And the reason I say essential is because it's important to It's important for us. It's important to Chicago. It's important not just to Chicago, but the world for you all to continue to do what you're doing for the community and making it a family affair. It's somewhere I could take my kids. That's essential. You know what I'm saying? And they love it. So that's my one word, essential. Be there this Thursday. A Night at the Museum is going down. Please let people know how they can donate, contribute to help you all further expand A Night at the Museum as well as SocialWorks. And of course, give that link out for them to purchase these tickets. And I'm going to let y'all know how y'all can win tickets throughout the show.
So make sure you come down. We got the Night at the Museum with myself, Chance the Rapper, at the Museum of Science and Industry this Thursday. Tickets are $15. You can get the tickets on the SocialWorks website. That's socialworksshy.com. You can also donate or even sign up for volunteer opportunities. And yeah, bring your niece, bring your nephew, bring your cousin, bring your grandma. It's wheelchair accessible. There's hot chocolate in that joint. And yeah, we just gonna turn up how we do every year. Ben Stiller might be there. You know what I'm saying? You never know. It's a night at the museum, baby.
I know that's right. SocialWorks.org is where you can find those tickets. Follow SocialWorks _shy on their Instagram. Are you all on Twitter? I don't say X. So are you all on Twitter?
Yeah. SocialWorks.
SocialWorks. So follow SocialWorks on Twitter. Follow SocialWorks on Instagram at SocialWorks _shy. I mean, it was a pleasure having you all take our time, literally, to come together and chop it up with us. And this is gonna be our last time in this particular studio.
We're moving out of the
together.
studio?
We moving to a new studio. So that's a word for everybody listening.
I did not know that.
Got a new studio. So this
is still in Navy Pier?
Oh yeah, it's right across the hall. Yeah.
Okay.
So this
I'm like, dang. That was just like a childhood memory. I'm like, wait, y'all moved out of Navy Pier?
No, we still here. But appreciate you all again, man. The Night at the Museum goes down this Thursday. Be there. Don't be square. Just be there. It's Vocalo Radio.
Make some shake for me. Stop playing.